to teach our kids how to think, critical thinking, ethics, civics, historic context, cause and consequence. I mean, Keith Ellison could get away with that because he thinks we have forgotten cause and consequence. He thinks that we have forgotten what they did in Arizona. And most Americans have forgotten it or didn't know it in the first place. I would like to ask you to join me on the torch. Sign up now at glennbeck.com/torch. Help me build this. I mean, curriculum, study guides for families, documentaries and shows and everything else with perspective. You're going to have audio history podcasts. There's already like 3 great series up on the torch. If you're not listening to America's Story, it's based on David Martin's book. If you haven't read that, you should just get the book. But listen to it come to life. It's really, really good. And share it with people. Share it with your family. Learn these things. You say you want. So we're building them. And I'm telling you, it's education built for real life, real families, real responsibility. So join me at glennbeck.com/torch. By the way, if you join this month, you get a couple of things. You get a personal note from me, a founder's lapel pin, because you are the first in who saw the vision before anybody else, and you're helping me build it. And then you also get, early access and founding member perks. And if you join this month, your price will never go up. I'm making it inflation proof for anybody who joins the first month. $10 today, $10 20 years from now. It will never go up. But we have to take education of our children back. We must do it. Christopher Rufo said something yesterday that I found interesting. He was talking about the culture war. And I love Christopher Rufo. So I don't want to get into, I just want to take what he said and how I am perceiving it. Because I know I say things on X and then I'm like, that's not exactly what I meant. He says, the problem with the annual conservative outrage cycle over Super Bowl halftime show is that it has no impact on the NFL and it makes conservatives look weak and left behind. Kid Rock does not change this calculus, he reinforces it, the ghettoization of conservative culture. I'm a right-winger. I love country music, but come on, Kid Rock did not mob Bad Bunny. This isn't a stunning culture war victory. Advertisers are not going to flock away from the Super Bowl. Conservatives have started lying to themselves and to their audiences. That's not good. Of course, I'd love to have a conversation with you on that because I see it differently. And here's how I see it. That sounds to me like what a lot of people told me when I said, help me build a network. Let's build the place, because my goal is to show other people who now have no voice, have been fired, or, think of Megyn Kelly. Think of Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly, when she left, the Blaze was early on. She had no place that she could go where she could make money. She went to NBC. And I talked to her and I said, Megyn, you got to come to the Blaze. Come to the Blaze. Don't go to NBC. You come to the Blaze. You couldn't pay her what NBC was paying. She is not hurting for cash now. Because we opened the door and showed that it can be done. We didn't replace ABC, NBC, CBS. But we sure have weakened them. We sure have taken it so there are alternatives. The mainstream media is not ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN. That's not the mainstream media. What's happening online is the mainstream media. And that's what we built. But it took years to do it. Look at Angel Studios. 15 years ago, you couldn't make a good Christian film. You couldn't get it seen anywhere. But certainly nobody was making good Christian films. We didn't even have the talent to do it. Look at what's happening. Have we taken Hollywood out? No. Are they close? Yeah. And we're not concerned because we don't have to. They do. So which brings me back to the NFL and halftime. What TPUSA did was not a stunning victory. Everybody, look, they've destroyed the value of halftime at the Super Bowl. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. What happened Sunday was a proof of concept. You can't necessarily pull people from the NFL because it's unique. It's offering something you can't get anywhere else. And so people are addicted to it and they will not leave it. No matter how many times they violate principles, it has been seen. They'll never leave it, okay? And you're not going to be able to do it unless you offer a better product that people want. Well, nobody's working on an NFL, right? So it's not going to happen. However, you can work on a halftime show. And what Sunday proved, this is like Blaze 2011. What Sunday proved is you can pull people off of that network and put them online and negate that. Remember, what are they up to? About 30 million views online? I mean, it's a huge, huge success. YouTube said this may be the largest live audience they've ever had. Okay? That didn't put the Super Bowl out. They're not afraid. They should be. But not today, not next year, 5 years from now. Because I'm telling you, if they keep doing this and they do a good job and the NFL keeps going the direction they're going, what will happen is people will start to get into the habit of going to TPUSA. And that's when the sponsors say, you know what, you can't charge me what you charge in the game for the halftime show because you're losing 20 million people, 30 million people. They're just tuning out. So I'll pay for it, but I'm not paying those prices. That money doesn't talk, money screams. This was a great first step. If you're outraged and you just want to bitch about things, he's right. Stop. If you are outraged and you want to do something about it, find the people who are doing something about it and support them. That's why I was there on I didn't need to see the halftime show, but I kept that thing on the whole time because I wanted to support exactly what they were doing. Just find those people. Whatever it is you believe in, find those people and support them. All right, back in just a second. Our sponsor this half hour is Simply Safe. You really don't think about your front door until you're lying in bed and hearing a sound you can't quite place. Or until you leave for a trip and you have a moment at the airport where you're like, did I actually lock everything? I don't have this problem. I live with my wife, Tanya, who I swear to you, every door, every screen, I go out to put the garbage out and she's locked down the house. And I'm like trying to get in. I'm like, honey, it's me. She's good with security and locking things up. She's good at that. We have great security. You can have great security as well. Simply Safe. Simply Safe Home Security can actually alert the police if they see something going on in your yard. Somebody's coming across your fence or your lawn and they're coming towards your house and they shouldn't be. They can speak to those people, say, whoa, what are you doing there? By the way, we have you on tape. You make any more steps and you don't turn around and go the other way, we're calling police. That is standing guard. And only Simply Safe can do that. SimplySafe.com/Beck. SimplySafe.com/Beck. Go there. Enjoy 50% off a new Simply Safe system with professional monitoring. It's SimplySafe.com/Beck. Go there now. SimplySafe.com/Beck. Glenn Beck. SiriusXM Triumph. Get real answers with Dr. Laura.
No nonsense advice about relationships, marriage, kids.
Tough love.
It happened is not a phrase anybody uses when they take responsibility.
Inspiration.
Every time you go to bed with a negative thought, you have to match it up with a positive one. That's your new rule.
Dr. Laura plus Glenn Beck, Nancy Grace, and Dave Ramsey. All on Triumph. SiriusXM 123 and on the SiriusXM app.
This Valentine's Day goes straight to their heart with rich, decadent brownies from Vermont Brownie Company. Hi, I'm Shauna Litsky, founder of Vermont Brownie Company. When I started over 15 years ago, I had one goal in mind, to make the best brownies around using the fresh freshest ingredients. Today, we have lots of delicious flavors, including maple toffee crunch, peanut butter, and our award-winning chef brownie, that beef Bobby Flay. All of our brownies are baked in Vermont using local, farm-fresh ingredients and individually wrapped for freshness and sharing with your Valentines. The best part, your gifts ship free in your choice of Valentine's Day packaging. Order today for Valentine's Day because we have sold out. Ordering is easy. Just visit us at vermontbrownie.com. This Valentine's Day, give your sweetheart, best friend, kids, parents, grandparents, everyone you care about what they really love. Gourmet brownies from Vermont Brownie Company.
When you haven't found love, it can feel like everyone else has. It's in every movie, every song, and all the PDA. Looking for love sucks. Thankfully, California Psychics can give you the guidance you need to find the one. We can guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. And new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
We all know the Valentine's Day go-to gifts are flowers, chocolates, maybe even perfume. But what about something that will truly last and protect your loved ones along the way? I'm talking about life insurance. I called SelectQuote to secure our coverage and couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40 and my $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. And with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required and we were covered by the time we hung up. With monthly payments less than the cost of a dozen roses, this Valentine's Day is the perfect time to make sure your family is protected.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-755-3737 or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-755-3737. 1-800-755-3737. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
These statements have been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease. As with any dietary supplement, consult your healthcare provider before use, especially if you're pregnant, nursing, or taking medication on a regular basis.
Are you on a GLP-1 medication, like Ozempic or Mounjaro? Looking for a simple, effective way to keep the muscle while you lose the fat? Then you need Replenta, the delicious nutritional drink physician formulated specifically for GLP-1 users, with a unique amino acid blend to help prevent muscle loss and support muscle tone, plus prebiotics for digestive health and collagen for skin elasticity. Packed with electrolytes, it's the perfect way to stay hydrated and balanced all day long. Give your muscles, your gut, and your skin the care they deserve with Replenta. Backed by science, designed with you in mind. Replenta is made in the USA in an FDA-registered facility. Now you can feel your best and look your best on your weight loss journey. On a GLP-1, get Replenta at Publix, CVS, Walgreens, and Walmart.
I'll give another example of the power of music. Super Bowl is the advertisement for America once a year. You will watch it all over the world. And so they're seeing. Now, imagine what they thought when they saw what was happening at halftime. What do you think our enemies thought when they saw, all these flags and all of it in Spanish? I would bet you they laughed and went, oh my gosh, they are in so much trouble. Right? But there was another moment, power of music again. Charlie Puth. Listen to this. He did the national anthem. Can play just a few seconds of it, if you will. I thought this guy just nailed it out of the park. And it's the best Star Spangled Banner I have heard since, I think, Whitney Houston. Getting it to you straight. Dr. Laura. Weekdays at 2 p.m. East, 11 West. On SiriusXM Triumph. And on the SiriusXM app. Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Ask yourself this question.
Fuck, he spoke for 15 seconds.
And right back to commercials.
For your brain and muscle function, because steps you want to make the most of each day. So even on the family hike, you're not just keeping the pace. You did. We have. You're one step ahead. One of 850 plus. The one for you. This statement is not evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, or prevent any disease. Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety, that's everyone's on it. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe you're 40 and may have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Term providers speak with Big Blue at 800-513-2326. Big Blue will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, weight, or high blood pressure. Term providers have thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To learn $1 million of affordable term life for you, you need to do is call Big Blue at 800-513-2326. Blue will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-513-2326. Big Blue will answer your call and look to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Blue's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-513-2326. That's 800-513-2326. Callers over 50 need to hear this. You have a job no one is talking about. Longevity. Are you losing distance? Dealing with pain or discomfort? Or losing mobility? Maybe you can't play 2 days in a row? Or worried about surviving a golf trip with your buddies? Par for Success has helped over 15,000 golfers just like you with science-backed one-on-one online golf fitness coaching that fits your schedule. Tell Father Time to come back later. Take the free 5-minute assessment to get your answers at parforsuccess.com. That's par, the number 4, success.com. Smart talk, all in one place. Sirius XM Tribe. Choosing what's right. Breaking news this hour from Town Hall. Amit Thomason. 2 deadlines have passed, 10 days have elapsed, and still no sign of Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Today's Show co-host Savannah Guthrie. The missing 84-year-old's daughter, Today's Show host Savannah Guthrie on Instagram, pleading for her safe return. We believe our mom is still out there. Thanking well-wishers for their prayers. She says law enforcement help us well. We are in an hour of desperation. We need your help. Over the weekend, she said the family would pay a ransom. Also, investigators were inside daughter Annie Guthrie's home and searching a septic tank behind Nancy Guthrie's house in her Catalina Foothills neighborhood outside Tucson. I'm Julie Walker. Shoppers throttled back their spending in December from the month prior, closing out the holiday shopping season and the year on a lackluster note. The Commerce Department report raises questions about shoppers' spending this year. They worry about a slowing job market, among other things. Congress is facing another Friday midnight deadline to agree on federal funding. The government is funded through September except for one agency, the Department of Homeland Security. Lawmakers are back on Capitol Hill this week to figure out how to fund DHS, which has more than 250,000 employees. Democrats are demanding changes to how ICE enforces the nation's immigration laws. ICE already has funding thanks to a separate bill passed last year, but if there's no agreement this week, funding would dry up for FEMA, TSA, and the U.S. Coast Guard. Greg Clugston, Washington. About 6,000 San Francisco public school teachers have gone on strike. It is the city's first teachers walkout in almost 50 years. On Wall Street, the Dow is up 352 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. Do you feel stupid for buying a timeshare? No, it's not your fault. You were most likely told you could rent it, and it was a great financial investment. And the deal was available today only. If this happened to you, contact your resort or Wesley Financial Group for help today.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-242-3131. 800-242-3131.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/term. That's ethos.com/term. Paid spokesperson. Terms and application may vary. Online health questions required. Israeli military strikes have killed 3 people west of Gaza City, according to the hospital where the casualties arrived. The hospital reports the deaths amid the months-old ceasefire that has seen continued fighting. The Israeli army says it's striking targets in response to Israeli troops coming under fire in Rafah, which it says is a violation of the ceasefire. The army says it's striking targets in a precise manner and will put out a full statement once the operation is finished. The massive fire in Hong Kong last November killed 168 people, has devastated the tight-knit community that lived in the now largely burnt-out apartment complex. Residents displaced by the blaze remain unsure whether they can visit what's left of their apartments or when they can secure permanent housing. Authorities blame substandard materials for the rapid spread of the fire, and the blaze is still under investigation. News and analysis. Town Hall.
The roots of reggae have a home on Sirius XM. Bob Marley's Tough Gong Radio. Music from Bob's lifelong legacy and the music his family continues to make. Bring the islands with you anytime.
Bob Marley's Tough Gong Radio.
Sirius XM, Channel 19. And at home with the Sirius XM app on your phone, computer, Alexa, TV, or other internet-connected devices.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. We all know the power that the IRS has, and yes, you don't want it to be scary, but did you know this? The IRS has been putting more and more warnings in their letters like, we may speak to your neighbor, employer, or others if needed. Are you kidding me? Or how about this one? IRS may communicate with all other agencies about your case, such as the Justice Department. And then, of course, if you owe over $50,000, the IRS may restrict or revoke your passport. Look, when it comes to the IRS, don't mess around and don't try to deal with them on your own. Get the expert help you need today. Call my friends at Rush Tax Resolution now. 800-258-7050. Now, Rush Tax is an A+ rated on the Better Business Bureau. So if you owe the IRS personally or you're a business behind on payroll taxes, it's the only company I recommend. Call now, 800-258-7050, 800-258-7050, rushtaxresolution.com.
I'm Dr. over the hospital. Advanced immunotherapies and help them succeed. And now I'm bringing you the world's latest technology, both in cancer treatment and prevention. Become educated and empowered. Visit Dr. El Prado Podcast on YouTube or visit us at invita.com, envita.com. We're here for you.
Pass it on. Craig the game. Playback is on. Playback is on. The fusion of entertainment, enlightenment, and empowerment. This is the Glenn Beck Program. Glenn Beck is on.
I've got some good news, and I have some clarity, a little bit of clarity on the Epstein files I want to give to you, but I want to start with the economy. Some good news on the economy, according to you, not an expert, you. We'll get that to you in 60 seconds. First, My Patriot Supply is our sponsor. Your power, doesn't send a warning text before it goes out. It just stops. That's when, little things turn into big things. It's also when you remember whether or not you have emergency food stored up. It's exactly the kind of moment food from My Patriot Supply is made for. These are long-term emergency meals that are easy to store, simple to prepare, and designed to give you real filling food when your kitchen isn't operating the way you're expecting it to. It's not about expecting disaster. It's about being not surprised by inconvenience that lasts longer than it should. When the lights go out, you don't want to be reinventing the plan from scratch. What you want is to have everything sitting on a shelf where you need it. Right now, you can get their best-selling 3-month food supply for $100 off. It's My Patriot Supply. They almost never offer deals like this. Take advantage. Go to preparewithglenn.com. Food supply gives you 2,000 calories a day, lasts up to 25 years, and best of all, it's $100 off for a limited time. Preparewithglenn.com. Preparewithglenn.com. Get yours now. So there's a new Gallup poll out. And Gallup is not usually very friendly to the right. But here's what it says. New Gallup poll, 50% of respondents say the stock market is set to go up a lot or go up a little within the next half year. 25% said the stock market is set to go down a little or go down a lot. 17% said the market will remain the same. 8% say they're unsure or refuse to answer. I love refuse to. I'm not answering that question. But anyway, I'm not sure the stock market means as much as everybody else, except your 401k. It's funny, when the stock market goes up, nobody says anything like, oh my gosh, have you seen my retirement? My retirement, I can actually retire. When it goes down, everybody's complaining. Stock market's gone down. What's happening to my retirement? I think we should spend some time noticing as the stock market goes up, because I think that's the only way that really affects you, is your retirement. They've had some bad earnings, and so that, of course, is going to have their stocks cater. Occasionally, ways.
Hello.
Oh, Doc?
Yes.
Hey, this is Craig Myers over in Huntington.
Hey, Greg.
Hey, I just sent you an email
Okay.
over. I did copy the loan officer that we spoke to on Thursday as well.
Okay, cool.
That way you have a direct link as well to him. But also I did send over a template for the personal financial statement. That should be pretty easy to copy over all that information that was
that we already did. Yeah.
Part of it. But yeah, we'll need that for you and William. But other than that, I did copy him on that. So if you reply back with all the financial stuff that you supplied to the other institution, then he can go through that and make sure if there's anything missing or things of that nature. But it sounds like it'd be pretty easy, just kind of plug and play from his standpoint. So, but I did copy him in on it so that he understands, and I do apologize.
Oh, no worries. No worries.
Gonna send you an email on Friday, but it may have slipped his mind or desk or something.
Not a big deal. We were busy anyway, so. And I just asked Bill. We were together last night, and I said, "Hey, did you ever get anything from that loan officer?" He said, "Oh man, no." And he goes, "I thought you did." I'm like, "Oh shit." I said, "I'll reach out to Greg tomorrow then." No big deal.
No problem. Well, and I was thinking that he was probably on the same connection. Maybe he didn't copy me on the emails and things like that. So I was looking on my system too, and I didn't see anything. So I was like, you know what? Let me. I was going to actually give you a call later this afternoon on that. So, but yeah, I will just copy me any correspondence you have. So that way I keep abreast of it, and I can keep him on his toes.
So, I appreciate you, Greg. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. Again, I apologize on Friday, but yeah, we're going to get this. Have you heard anything from the other institution?
Well, we basically just told them that, you know, we were dissolving our relationship with them. I did last week. So
Gotcha. Okay.
So
I didn't know
because they hadn't submitted it yet. And I said, well, this is ridiculous. I said, we've been going through this for 2 months now. I said, you know, the owners are anxious to sell, and you guys are going to make this where they're not going to want to sell to us. So,
right. They didn't even submit it to SBA?
Nope.
Yeah. All right.
Now, I did get a call. I did get a call from the Toledo Lucas County Port Authority or something like that. Something about a 504 as well to join with it. I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure on that either. So,
I'll copy you guys on it when we submit that other stuff. Something about like an additional local type grant or something like that.
Oh, you know what? It may be because there is there is a grant for businesses. Let me see here. It's a small development, small business development. For this may be something that they're looking to try to help you out in regards to possibly some grants that are available to businesses starting up. So,
okay.
But I know it's Lucas County.
Yeah.
So they may be looking.
But I mean, it's weird because I spoke to him and then he emailed me. He knows the businesses in Wood County. So.
Okay. Did you talk to like a Michael Tolson or something? Or
let me see his email.
I'm sorry, I grabbed you probably the wrong time for it.
Jason. No. Jason Bartschy.
Jason Bartschy.
Bartschy. Financing Programs Manager for Toledo Lucas County Port Authority.
Okay. What I'll do is I'll reach out to the person I know that works in the chamber, and see if and they were talking about possible grants.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. All right. I'll touch base with them and see if he knows the person or anything of that nature in regards to that form.
Okay. Well, actually, I'll tell you what. I'll just forward you because all he did was send me the information on the program. Here, I'll just forward it to you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'd be great. Then I can reach out and see if that's something that works out.
Okay. There we go. I just sent it.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks again, Doc. I appreciate it, and I will. I'll be in touch with you.
Okay.
I'll keep this on the front burner because I want to make sure Andrew gets this thing taken care of and get you going. So, but yeah, if you could just send all the information you have in regards to the original application, we'll get it going.
All right, we'll do.
All right. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
49% said the economic growth is set to go up a lot or go up a little within the next 6 months. It's almost 50%. 49% say the economy going up a little or a lot within the next 6 months. 36% said the economic growth is set to go down a little or go down a lot. 13% say economic growth is going to remain the same. 2% said I am not answering that. Terrible answer. This is good news. At least politically, it's good news. If this is the way people are feeling and it continues to go this way, that's good. Of course, it's also good news for the economy that actually but there is reason to be optimistic. I'm optimistic for the first time ever. I'm optimistic about things because I believe for the very first time we have a president that has a plan. and is executing on that plan. And it is a big plan. It's not a eat around the edges. It's the whole pie. And now he's turned his focus inward, and he's looking at Main Street, which he had to take care of Wall Street and the big banks and, you know, the WEF and NATO and everything else before he could turn in to Main Street. But now he's turning into Main Street. And I think you're going to see some good things. Also, are you reading? Let me bring Jason in on this. Are you reading people saying, you know, Epstein files? Boy, Donald Trump sure looks bad in the Epstein files. Are you hearing that, Jason?
I got one comment from Zachary. Zachary said that he's hearing that, and he was just curious what that was and what it all means. And I haven't really seen anything but really exoneration for the president, really.
Right. I mean, it is amazing that the Democrats even say the word Epstein anymore. Because I'm convinced the only reason why they brought him up is because they needed to smear Donald Trump. They needed to make him look like a pedophile. But all of these documents, they show that no, he was the exact opposite. The latest, President Trump, in a call 2 decades ago to the Florida police chief, bashed his former friend Jeffrey Epstein and called Epstein's procurer, Maxwell, evil. This is, now he is a retired cop, but at the time he wasn't, and the FBI interviewed him. And he said, Trump called me, because he was the police chief of Palm Beach, and he said, thank goodness you're stopping Epstein. Everyone knows he's doing this and nobody would stop it. The document came to light hours after Maxwell's lawyer turned on Trump, or called on Trump, to grant her executive clemency so she could speak honestly about what she knows. Maxwell earlier Monday refused to testify to a House committee. So she's trying to hold out so she can get, you know, a wage sentence or anything else. And Trump has not been willing to do that. And I think that speaks volumes, especially when you know he said 2 decades ago, this woman is evil. In fact, Trump told him, the police chief, people in New York knew Epstein was disgusting. Trump said Maxwell is Epstein's operative. She's evil and you should focus on her. During the 2006 call, Trump told Reiger that he was around Epstein once when teenagers were present, and Trump got the hell out of it. This is the police chief, and he said, as soon as we started investigating, he said, we called all kinds of people and said, hey, can you talk to us about Epstein? He said the only one that returned the call was Donald Trump. And he returned the call, and he's like, yeah, what do you need to know? Yeah, bad guy. I mean, how do you turn this into he's the bad guy here? I mean, he is, again, he's the most investigated man. I want you to hear this. He is the most investigated man of all of human history. There has never been a bigger, more thorough examination of a man's life, and I think including Hitler, because they didn't have the ability to do what they're doing now. They examined his life every possible way. They have gone through all of his records, all of his IRA, everything, and you got nothing. You got nothing. I think the world owes him a giant apology, quite frankly. You may not like it, but you gotta say, every agency, every spy agency on the planet was looking for things on him to either make sure that he didn't win, so he wasn't going to do what he's currently doing to NATO, or Russia and China making sure that we continue to be weak. You don't think everyone investigated him? Of course they did. Nobody, like nobody else has. It's the one time, because he always says, like, nobody's ever seen before. It's crazy. That's never been done. On this one, he's right. Never been done. Never. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. It's true. So, give it up on the Epstein Trump thing. Especially when Maxwell, he's not, Maxwell is so dirty, she'd be willing, I guess, she'd be willing to say, who do you want me to throw under the bus? Who do you need me to throw under the bus? And, everybody on the left thinks that that's the kind of guy Trump is. Isn't it interesting that he's not granting any clemency to her? She's asking for personal meetings, and he won't accept it. She's begging him, look, I'll give you the testimony, I'll tell you everything I need. Nope. He doesn't trust her. Go ahead, media. It's so funny. Everything you do makes him stronger. I've never seen anything like. I've never seen Sun Tzu's. What is it? Warrior philosophy. I've never seen it used like this before. Where he's just using their momentum. He just uses that, and it works for him. He knocks them out every time. It's you're just so stupid. I just don't know what you're doing. On tomorrow's program, we have the Royal Crown Prince of Iran, who is going to be joining me. I am quite anxious to talk to him. His father was the king of Iran when the Ayatollah came to town like Santa Claus. Is he the guy to run the country? I really want to know, and I mean this sincerely. I don't know how we can negotiate with them. They just killed 35,000 people. That's what we think we know. You can't verify those numbers, but that's the number that's going around that pretty much everybody agrees on, is they scooped up 36,000 people off the street and just killed them. Holy cow. How do you negotiate with them? What do you want a nuclear treaty with those guys? Why? I'm going to get into that here in just a second. First, let me tell you about our sponsor. Our sponsor at this half hour is Patriot Mobile. Every month a bill shows up you don't think twice about. Automatic, like gravity, your phone just works. And the payment just goes through. And nobody ever stops to think, where's that money going? And you don't stop to look at all of the charges, the extra charges, and you're like, wait a minute, what is that? What? When you're paying for your cell phone companies know you don't want the hassle of changing your phone. They know this. It's an amazingly loyal business. Once you have people on your cell service, they almost never go away because you don't want the hassle. I'm telling you now, you want to get away from these guys because they're taking your money and investing it in things that are helping destroy our country. Patriot Mobile is the exact opposite. They're the world's first and only Christian conservative mobile phone company, and they take some of their profits and they invest it into helping us get stronger. First Amendment, Second Amendment, all of them. They're great. They follow your values. And you don't have to give up coverage, quality, features, nothing. You just make the switch. They'll make it super easy. Same speed, same everyday experience without the stomach-turning realization that, oh crap, I'm paying for what? PatriotMobile.com/Beck. 972-PATRIOT. Break the cycle. Promo code Beck. 3 month of service. PatriotMobile.com/Beck. 972-PATRIOT. Promo code Beck. 3 month of service. Make the switch today. 10 seconds station. So let me go back to Trump. I don't pretend to read minds, but I do read patterns. And Trump has a very clear pattern. Historically, it's been this. Maximum pressure, move that over to Windows as far as you possibly can. Visible leverage, and then a very narrow offer. Okay? He doesn't negotiate from empathy. He negotiates from cost. This is what it's going to cost you. And we've seen it with sanctions, isolation. When he believed deterrence had failed with force, no more, with unmistakable signals that there was a line and he wouldn't cross it. He drew that line. That's why you have the biggest force since the Persian Gulf sitting all around Iran. So what is he doing? First thing he's doing is restoring deterrence by making Iran understand that escalation has real consequences. And it's not because he wants war. The guy hates war, but he wants to prevent it. Second, keep the negotiations transactional, not moral. He's going in, and I don't know if I like this, but he's going in and he's talking about nuclear capability, regional behavior, regime survival. Those are the currency that this government responds to. And then third, and this one really matters, don't own the uprising or the fall. Okay? Once the uprising or whatever is going to happen is American directed, whoever you replace is tainted, and it's bad. It's bad. History tells us when repression becomes brutal, and then America comes in, it becomes even more brutal. So let me address the one thing that I think you might feel, and I feel it's valid. I don't want war. I do not want our boys fighting another war in the Middle East. Period. Full stop. But I also don't want to encourage people to protest and then watch them be rounded up and killed. I don't know what to do. And that's the trap. Revolt happened, and we said, don't cross this line, don't kill your people. And they did. If you say nothing, do we have any credibility? Has he lost all the credibility? Is he complicit? Are we complicit in silence? Because I don't want to do anything. I don't want to do anything. So the only ethical path, I think the only one, the narrow one that he always is to tell the truth. Not with certainty where certainty doesn't exist, but apply pressure that targets the perpetrators, not the civilians. Keep the information flowing, even when the regime is trying to bury it. Maintain deterrence without rushing towards war. So he's going to give them, I think he's going to do what he did in Venezuela. You have a very narrow path. I suggest you walk this path. And if you don't, it's over. The regime, though, has a huge weapon. It's not an army. It kills in the dark. And then we all sit here and argue about the numbers. It's 35,000. Did they really kill 35,000? Well, some people say it's 25,000. Some people say it's 55,000. We're arguing about numbers. The point is, they killed thousands of people. That's really a big deal. This isn't about protests. It's not about nuclear weapons. This is about death. It's whether the modern world will accept uncertainty as a substitute for accountability. Who did you kill? Because if the government anywhere can massacre its own people and shut off the lights and scatter all the evidence and survive on the argument that nobody can prove it, every single tyrant on earth learns that lesson. This is what happened in Turkey with the Christians. Hitler went in, Turkey went in and killed a bunch of Armenians. And it was the Armenian massacre. And killed them all. And the world did nothing. Forget about Turkey. Hitler said, he saw that. He saw the world's reaction. He said, oh my gosh. You can kill anybody. You can kill any number. And the world's not going to respond. We're teaching people lessons. I pray that Oman, we're in Oman now. I don't even know who was she. I thought that was a model. But they're negotiating in Oman today. I don't know what they're negotiating for. Again, I don't want war. But I also don't want this. I don't trust them. What do you negotiate for? But I guess we're going for nuclear weapons or something. I don't know. We have the guy who is the special envoy for nuclear non-proliferation. He was the guy who went into Libya and said, you got to get rid of all your WMDs, and convinced Gaddafi to do that, and then ordered it. But he is now the special assistant to the president and the senior director for proliferation strategy at the White House. The one thing I know about Donald Trump is the one thing that truly scares him is nuclear war. He does not want a missile launched because he firmly believes in, I think Jacobson will tell you in her book the same exact thing. You launch a missile, you're guaranteed the other side's going to launch missiles, and then you're in a world of hurt. Probably don't make it. In every single test that they run, every scenario at the Pentagon, since the 50s to today, it always ends in total nuclear war. And so the one thing I know is he does not want any missiles going up in the air because he knows everybody loses. Everybody loses with that. So he's serious about nuclear weapons. But what can we achieve with people we don't trust? And how close are we to actually, are we going to hit them? He's not going to tell me that. But I think we can draw our own conclusions by how he has behaved in the past and how he moves things and gives people a very narrow window. And I don't think we're going to take this window, but we'll see. We'll talk to the investor here in just a second. Stand by. Buying or selling a home is one of the few times in life where you, somebody who does not make six-figure decisions every day, have to make it like with 10-minute notice. You're like, I don't know, I don't know what to, okay? Most people do this maybe a handful of times in their lives. That's why I've told you about realestateagentsitrust.com. This is my network of agents who have been personally vetted for experience, track record, how they treat people, because skill is super important. So you're not being steered through one of the biggest financial moments of your life by somebody who just wants a quick commission. 40% of all real estate agents are part-timers. Do you know that? They're like, my kids, they graduated and they went to college and I just needed something to do. So I know a lot of people. Yeah, that doesn't make you a good real estate agent. Okay? You need somebody who knows how to navigate the market. Go to realestateagentsitrust.com. I don't charge you anything. It's a free service from me. But we'll help you find the right person to buy or sell your home, even in this tough market. The name says it all. realestateagentsitrust.com. realestateagentsitrust.com.
Give Glenn the best birthday present ever and become a Torch Insider. After you join, leave a birthday note for the old man at the community page. GlennGeck.com/Torch.
This is Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Austin Cedric, Joey Logano, Michael McDowell, Jimmy Hamlin. This is Austin Dillon. The Daytona 500 is coming. It's NASCAR's biggest race. When you think of races you want to win, Daytona is number one on every driver's list. It can define a career. For the rest of my life, I'll be known as a Daytona 500 champion. The Daytona 500, Sunday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern. On SiriusXM NASCAR Radio Channel 90. And the SiriusXM. There's no race like the Daytona 500. It truly is the great American race.
Hi, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. He was in great health. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. And super hard, obviously, for the whole family. But my dad had life insurance. So even after he passed away, he was still able to provide for my mom. And of course, by extension, my brother and I. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife, and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com. Because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. 10 minutes. You're covered. Your family is covered. You get $2 million in coverage for $2 a day. That's a 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. We don't like to talk about death in our culture, but everyone's going to die. You're going to die. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/Slater. Rates may vary, billed monthly. Ethos.com/Slater.
At California Sidekicks, we know love can sometimes feel like a game of chance.
Welcome to the Wheel of Uncertainty.
You spin the wheel to see if you'll be lucky in love.
Not this time.
Will this relationship last?
Uh-oh, red flag.
Does it ever just go smoothly? Thankfully, when emotions are running high, California Psychics is here 24/7 to ease your uncertainty. And because we reject 98% of the psychics who apply, you only connect with the very best. That's why we guarantee that if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. Groove of Jackpot! Download the app or visit CaliforniaPsychics.com. Right now, new customers receive 20 minutes for just $20. Experience the joy of certainty with California Psychics.
Weight Watchers now offers access to affordable GLP-1s. It works for members like I'm Haley, and I've lost 100 pounds. Weight Watchers has everything I need, from weight loss medications to nutrition support and help with my side effects. It's all in one place. Weight Watchers handles the insurance for you and offers affordable cash pay options. With our program, our members are losing more weight with expert nutrition and side effect support.
I'm Mike, and I've lost 135 pounds. Weight Watchers prescribing GLP-1 medications. It's been life-changing.
I'm Sharia, and I lost 80 pounds on Weight Watchers. I realized that it would take more than a prescription to lose weight and feel good on a GLP-1.
Better results, expert support, lose more weight, make it last.
I can't imagine doing a GLP-1 without Weight Watchers.
Get started for as low as $25 at WeightWatchers.com/GLP1. For over 60 years, we've helped millions of members find what works for them. Now, it's your turn. Weight Watchers. Watch it work. Running a business means wearing multiple hats. So if you're like me, you probably started out using your personal phone, taking client calls and texts nonstop. As my business grew, I needed something smarter. That's when I switched to Quo, the #1 business phone system. Quo works right on your phone or computer. No carrying two phones, no clunky landline, just one easy app you can try for free. Your team can share one number and handle calls and texts together like a shared inbox. Any teammate can jump into the conversation, so customers get faster responses. And Quo's AI assistant summarizes your calls and responds to customers 24/7, so you never miss a lead or opportunity. All this starts at just $15 a month. That's basically 2 coffees. You can even keep your current business phone number. Find out why 90,000 businesses trust Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/boost. That's quo.com/boost to try Quo free. QUO.com/BOOST.
Newsmax, you like Newsmax. I like it too. News.
Switching to Newsmax. They're watching great shows with Greta, Carl Higbie, Rob Schmidt, Finnerty, and more. If you're tired of big media, start watching Newsmax. It's free to start.
for terrorist proxies throughout the region, and also about the way it treats its own people. He was very clear when the murder on the streets began by the regime that the United States would come to the assistance of the demonstrators, of the protesters. But I think he needs to demonstrate to the world that he has tried every single option, peaceful option, diplomatic option. And I think that's the reason that he is testing the notion that we can have an agreement with this regime.
That makes sense. That's the first thing I heard that actually makes sense. Okay, I get that. Is there something we could walk away that keeps them in power, but we could walk away and say, that's good and we trust them?
Well, I think I would just point to a very important editorial in the Wall Street Journal a week ago today. And it was entitled, "The Deal in Iran is Regime Change." It shows the fallacy of negotiating with this regime, something that we've been trying for over 20 years. But the regime uses the negotiations to buy time and to gain concessions. And if the concessions come as they have in the past in terms of resources, they will use those resources to advance the very programs that we're trying to constrain, whether that be nuclear or ballistic missile. They've used it to support their terrorist proxies, Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, and they use it. They use those concessions, those resources, to kill their own people.
And we've done this negotiation. We've done this negotiation thing over and over and over and over again. You were probably around, I think I heard it from you about the enrichment. No, we can't be. No. We can't let them enrich. You let them enrich, and we're gonna behave over here. Why would you give them this level of enriching their uranium? And they do. They use it as time, and then they violate it. You can never trust them on that. Can I ask you? You said revolutions are an ugly thing. I have the Crown Prince on tomorrow. He's just agreed to come on with me. Is he a viable option, do you think, for Iran?
I don't believe so. He has really no support, as far as I can tell, on the ground in Iran. His positions on what form of government should follow, are very contradictory. And he has proposed some of the most absurd actions. For example, cooperating with the IRGC, the Revolutionary Guards, or at least sectors or individuals in the Revolutionary Guards. The IRGC is at the very heart of this corrupt, this brutal, and this inept regime. I don't think the Shah's son has any support outside of a very small circle.
So who is the leader? Where is this going to come from? I mean, you were in that Free Iran rally, 100,000 people plus in Berlin just last weekend. Who do you think has the ability to take this?
Well, Mrs. Rajavi, of course, was at the center of this rally, as she has been at the center of resistance to the regime for over 40 years. And the National Council of Resistance of Iran is, I think, instrumental in both gaining support from Iranian nationals outside of Iran, but also in terms of what we're seeing on the streets of Iran. The organization, has on the ground individuals, some resistance units, who are very instrumental in attacking the very symbols of the regime on the ground, in organizing the resistance, and in pushing for this regime change. Again, regime change must come from within. It can't be imposed by the United States, no matter what we do, even though what we do is important if we continue to put pressure on the regime. But it's from inside Iran, And I think that is, that is probably the most important thing for us to understand.
This armada that Trump is sending over there is remarkable. What if we were going to hit something? What would we hit that would make a difference?
Well, I think there are a number of things one can do militarily that could make a difference. There are many options in the cyber world. The armada could also be used for a blockade, again, to put pressure on the regime. And of course, there are kinetic options that could strike at the power centers, whether it be IRGC or their Ministry of Intelligence, within the country. So there are a lot of things that we could do militarily, but we could also, continue to put pressure through economic measures like expanding and toughening the sanctions, pushing for secondary sanctions, cutting off access to the international financial system. There are political and diplomatic things that we can do, pressuring Europeans and other countries to close the Iranian embassies, to kick out the agents of the regime. And most important, I think what we can do is push so that the regime doesn't get yet another lifeline through their negotiations.
There is an article, "Only a free Iran can prevent nuclear catastrophe." The one thing I know that Donald Trump really worries about, is a missile launch. We've destroyed that capability.
Hey, Jacob.
Iran, have we not? Because I believe if they ever had a nuclear weapon, they're the kinds of people that would use it because of their, the 12er ideology. If 12ers ever really meant it.
Yes, I certainly agree with you. I think if they had a nuclear weapon, they would use it. They would do anything for the survival of the regime. But the ballistic missile force, even though it was degraded significantly by Israeli strikes in the 12-day war in June, still may be a formidable force. And it is the ballistic missile force that the Iranians are saying, what the Iranian government is saying, will be used if there's any attack on Iran. But that's one of the reasons that President Trump has assembled this armada. And the armada includes not just offensive capabilities, but defensive capabilities, missile defense capabilities to protect American forces in the region, and also to protect our allies. But we can't discount, that the regime won't use ballistic missiles. They've done that in the past, not with great success, but that's pretty much all that's left, for them in terms of their options.
Let's say it's Friday this week, maybe Friday next week. What do you think? Where do we stand? What do you think is probable to happen?
Well, you can already see the next wave of demonstrations and protests. You can see it in the schools. You can see it. You can see it at the funerals for the victims who have been murdered. You can see it with this call by the merchant class for shutting the shops down next week, actually. So you can see this happening, and the regime has only one response, and that is more brutality. More brutality. They can't reform. They can't change peacefully. And so I think it's for that reason that the regime will go away. It may not go away this Friday or next Friday, but it will be overthrown. It will be overthrown by the people through the resistance units and through the leadership, of which Mrs. Rajavi is an important part.
Ambassador, thank you so much. I appreciate it. God bless.
Thank you for having me, sir.
Yeah, former U.S. Special Envoy for Nuclear Non-Proliferation. As he's talking about this, I'm thinking about the people that are calling for protests in the streets now. I mean, we don't want to go to our school board meeting. We don't want to bring up, something that's going to, start a big war with everyone. Not a war. Because we just don't want to have those confrontations at work or anything else. Look at what these people are willing to do for their freedom. Imagine 60,000 people. The government just came in, swept in, 35 that we know of. 35,000 people. They just come in at night, break down the doors, they take them, they kill them. They take another 10, 20,000 and put them in prison and are torturing them. And then somebody says, I think we should go out and protest. Wow. Pray for these people. Pray for these people. American Financing is our sponsor. That doesn't need to be dramatic to be dangerous. It can be normal. It can be a stack of little payments that often look manageable one at a time until you all start adding them up and you're like, wait a minute. I'm working half the month just to stay even. The interest is quiet, but it's constant, and it turns into, a treadmill for your income. Lots of effort, very little forward motion. When it's like that, the problem isn't that you're bad with money. The problem is that the system you build that you keep paying into, you're going to pay into forever. Okay? American Financing helps you step off of that treadmill, get out of that loop, and look at the big picture and help you find a smarter way to structure everything so you're not getting bled out with high interest payments month after month after month. This is about getting your finances to make sense again. So I want you to call AmericanFinancing.net. See if they can help you save an awful lot of money every month. AmericanFinancing.net, 800-906-2440, 800-906-2440. NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org. APR for rates in the 5 starts at 6.799% for well-qualified borrowers. Call 800-906-2440 for details about credit costs and terms. Where you're from doesn't matter nearly as much as how you treat folks.
It's said rules. I mean, this dude has to be knocked over the head, hard.
More Glenn Beck, next.
The NBA's best will be in Los Angeles for All-Star Weekend. For the win! Sirius XM NBA Radio has your all-access pass.
Live from All-Star Weekend with Steph Curry. Excited to be here.
The three-point and slam dunk contest and the 75th NBA All-Star Game. Your home for All-Star Weekend is NBA Radio. On-site coverage begins Thursday at 2 Eastern on Channel 86 and in the car on the Sirius XM app.
Did you know your life insurance is an asset you can sell? I'm Jay Jackson, CEO of Abacus Life. For almost 20 years, Abacus has been purchasing life insurance policies from seniors just like you. And at abacuspays.com, we've created a free policy value. There are no fees and no obligations.